Hi everyone, so if you're new here, I'm Damaris, and today's video is to do with reducing waste for a birthday party. So the main thing to remember when you're trying to reduce waste for a birthday party is that reusable items are always going to be the best option. The next thing that I think is useful to remember is that making your own food is probably going to be the most zero waste option. So of course, organising a party for, say, an adult or a group of adults is going to be a bit more different than organising a party for children. However, I'll just go through the basics of how I organised a party for 27 children and tried to reduce waste as much as I could along the way. So this was a very frugal style birthday party with an emphasis on as little waste as possible. So my first tip would just be to get organised. If you're organised, then you are less likely to pick sort of single-use items for the party because you're running out of time. So it might seem obvious, but it's definitely something that I think would be useful. So for example, before the party, I collected some reusable cups from a family member so that I had cups for the children to have squash or water in. I also decided to use my water filter jugs for the squash because this just saved me from having to buy anything else, which would only really be used for this occasion, you know. So another thing that we organised beforehand was we decided to do packed lunches. So I've seen at other birthday parties for my son's class that they've done like little boxes for packed lunches. So it'll be like a colourful box or something and then it's got the child's name on. And I just didn't want to do that because I thought that was incredibly wasteful. Plus with children, the chance of them getting sort of greasy food or something over the boxes means that they then can't be recycled or not recycled very easily. And I just didn't like the idea of that. So I was actually talking to my mum and she suggested using serviettes or some sort of fabric to hold the lunches together. So getting organised was definitely key in this way because I collected these serviettes from my mum so that I was able to use them prior to the party. So this was actually a party that was organised with another mum from the school. So it was a joint birthday party. And the reason that we decided to go for packed lunches over sort of buffet style food was purely just we've seen how much the children end up wasting when you do a buffet style food at these sort of parties. And we didn't want to have to create so much waste food wise. So we settled on having packed lunches, and I think it was the definitely less stressful way of doing things for sure. So we did sandwiches, crisps and fruit, which I wrapped up in the serviettes and tied with string. So the other mum made some name tags as well, so I just attached them on. I'll show a picture of what it looked like. So I think possibly some of the other mums probably thought I was crazy because in my little corner of the world, this is not the sort of way that people do birthday parties generally. It's usually those single-use plastic cups and plates, or it's paper cups and plates. Now, of course, in this kind of scenario, it doesn't really matter what the material is. Even if it was paper plates and paper cups, I wouldn't want to do it because it's single use. You're not going to use them again, and I just find it so wasteful. So I was pleased with what we decided to do, and I think it looked really cute. So if I did something, again, probably on a much smaller scale, if I did a birthday party which involved children on a smaller scale, then I would probably have bought those sort of bigger packs of crisps. You can get some that are in plastic-free packaging as well, and I would probably separate them into containers and do it that way. But it was just unfortunate that with the amount of children that were coming, we didn't have enough containers to sort of do it this way, but it's definitely something I would change for the future. So party bags was something that we ended up doing as well. So I would have loved to have done fabric party bags, but it was just too expensive and I don't know how to make them myself either. So we ended up going for paper party bags, and unfortunately the children in our class generally expect party bags. So it was something that we wanted to do because we knew it would make the children happy basically, but we tried to do it with as minimal waste as we could. So I bought a kilo of sweets, which we put into sort of pick and mix style sweet bags within the party bag. But with the amount of children it was, the kilo sweets didn't go very far, so we did have to top up with some from the supermarket. So next, planning on the day. So I made sure that I had the jugs and the cups that I needed to take with me. I bought my Enyo cloth with me as well because I figured that would be the easiest way to just clean the cups. That was the only thing at the venue that we needed to clean, and it then meant that I didn't need to bring washing up liquid or dish soap. So it just made sense. So I brought the Enyo cloth, a tea towel and a bin liner for the crisp wrappers, and a couple of bags which are compostable bags. I was just using them for the food waste basically. If you're finding my video useful so far, don't forget to subscribe because that does really help me out as a small YouTuber. So the aftermath of the party. So the main thing I noticed, which I'll show a clip of, is that children are very wasteful when it comes to food at a party. There was quite a lot wasted. I tried to save what I could that I knew that I would use or my family would use, so I saved that because I knew we'd get some use out of it. But yes, I think in the party situation, children are just far too excited to eat most of the time, so I'll definitely bear that in mind in case I do arrange a party in the future. All things considered, I don't think the waste was too bad. I think it could have been a lot worse. I wanted to take it home myself because I didn't know whether the venue would recycle any of it, and I wanted to just take it home myself so that I could fully see it. And I think it's useful to see that actually, to see, where you could change to produce less waste, and looking at it sort of visually definitely helps, I think. So my biggest tips, just to summarise really, if you're organising a party of some sort, would be to choose reusables and anything that you already have at home that you could use for the party. If you can, make the food yourself. So of course we did pack lunches, but we made the sandwiches ourselves. Next tip would be avoid balloons and foil decorations, anything like that. So what I have at home, I've got some birthday bunting which comes out every year for my children's birthdays, and it's just a brilliant reusable alternative. It's bright and colourful, so they love it. Next tip would be to bulk buy as much as you can. So I've mentioned it before on my channel, but bulk buying just in general is going to save waste, because if you're buying a large bag of something, then it's much better than buying, say, 10 smaller bags of something. So if it's snacks that you are having to buy, or sweets or anything like that, bulk buying is the best way to reduce waste. For this birthday party, I did consider using sort of glass jars for snacks and for drinking cups, and I decided not to, just because this was a 7-year-old's birthday party, and there was a bouncy castle and soft play style birthday party, so they were already very hyped up, and I just felt like because of their age there could have been so many accidents with glass jars, so we decided against that idea. But it's a shame because I think that would look really cute, and obviously you could use like tiny little glass jars for drinks, maybe with some reusable straws, not essential, but would make it look a little bit cuter, and I think that would really work. So if I was arranging a birthday party in the future that involved adults or for older children, I would definitely consider something like that. It's a great way to have a plastic-free birthday party altogether. So I've just got a last bit of advice. So if you're considering throwing a birthday party for several children, just don't do it. It's a really bad idea. Just don't. So lastly, I just wanted to do the quote, which is this week: as consumers, we have so much power to change the world by just being careful in what we buy. And that's an Emma Watson quote. Emma Watson has been a huge advocate for sustainability and sustainable fashion for a long time, and I think this quote is just brilliant, and I wanted to share it with this particular video. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.